Hey family, I just need one person to join me here on live so I can talk about the 10 ways on raising our vibrational frequency. And then I will take it from there. I just prefer to have some company on these lives. And so if you're on, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, give me a hey, give me a shout out, let me know who you are, where you chiming in from, so I can get this party started. I just need to make sure that these lives are actually reaching you guys. Okay, here we go. Greetings. Welcome to my live on 10 ways on how to raise your vibrational frequency. About 12 days ago, I did a live on YouTube on the 10 ways to know if you're vibrating from low energetic frequencies. How do you know that? And I did that video. So if you guys haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. It's on Facebook under Miss Frida, YouTube under Miss Frida People's channel, because that's the first part. This is part 2 of that video. Hey James. And so I'm just coming to you guys just to balance it out and give you what I think. Of course, there's many ways to raise your vibrational frequency, but these are the 10 ways that I think is good, has been beneficial to me. So I'll get started. And again, like I mentioned, this is part 2. So if this is not making sense to you as you listen, you may want to start with part 1 and then come back to this when you're done. But as always, I like for these lives to be reciprocity. So if you guys want to chime in, share your thoughts, share your opinions, share your rebuttals, definitely chime in, because I am right here on the stream so I can see what you're posting. 10 ways to raise your vibrational frequency. Number 1, do not avoid internal confrontation. What do I mean by that? I think when most people hear raising vibrations, a thing they may think in terms of feeling good, everything is cool, you riding high, your energy is in some place above the clouds, and all that kind of stuff. Well, I don't necessarily think that operating in a high frequency level constitutes always joyful and happy and on cloud 9 and all those things. No, it's just a higher elevated way of looking at the world. It's almost like standing on top of a mountain looking over the valley, as opposed to being down in the valley looking around. So that's how I view operating on a high vibrational frequency versus a low one. Okay, so when I say do not avoid internal confrontation, I think that is kind of like the stepping stones of allowing your mind to correlate with your feelings and your emotions, to better understand what you're feeling, right? So, and you can't better and properly understand what you're feeling and why you're feeling what you're feeling if you don't if you're always avoiding internal confrontation. So you don't, anything that causes you to feel uneasy or agitated or irritated by what you're hearing or seeing, and your first knee-jerk reaction is to always block, resist, turn off, close your eyes to, shut the door on, deny, anything other than feel what it is that you're going through, I think is a way to, you're not really gaining a good understanding of yourself when you do that. So do not avoid internal confrontations when they arrive. Feel that, recognize it, gain to understand why it is that you're feeling the way you're feeling about what you're feeling. Those are the things that allow you to gain better insight, and you start learning more and more about what makes you tick. Okay, so that's one way. Exploring your emotions is one of the 10 ways on raising your vibrational frequency. Number 2, eating high vibrational foods. This should go without saying. I personally, I'm not the poster child for eating all the best foods that are to be eaten in the world. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? You can go to my cupboard now and you might see some things that make you say, "Oh my God, you?" Yes, I have a weak spot for sugary things. What I tend to do is, and not by choice either, because my body forced me into having to go a route of using sweeteners that aren't the white sugar and things like that. So, however, eating high vibrational foods, raw foods, fruits, things that don't have a lot of packaged goods and things like that, all those things that are made in laboratories. It's interesting how we can go into grocery stores these days, and there's the smallest section in the whole grocery store is produce, right? In most grocery stores. And then you have rows and rows and aisles of packaged goods and refrigerated frozen goods and canned goods, and you know what I'm saying? So the vast majority of the things that is on the grocery store shelf is made in laboratories, chemical labs. And so and because of that, because we've taken to eating that way, we found ourselves infected with more and more diseases and things. So eating high vibrational foods, live foods that are still alive when you put them in your mouth, that will rot over a short period of time if you don't eat it fast enough. Those are the type of foods that, you feel better. You feel better after eating. If you're eating a meal and the first thing you want to do after you eat that meal is take a nap, that means that the food that you're consuming is draining you. It's draining your energy. It's not building it. It's not feeding it. You should want to run a marathon after eating, because food should give you energy. So if your food that you're consuming is draining you, that's a good indication to know that you're consuming low vibrational foods. So eating the right foods, getting the proper nutrition is one way to help raise your vibrational frequency. Number 3, I know this is going to be tough for most people out there, but turning that TV off, turning it off altogether, sometimes giving yourself a break giving yourself a fast from the TV, because it's so much on that tube. My father used to call it the one-eyed monster. I understand perfectly why. The one-eyed monster. It's so much that comes from that tube these days that's damaging to our prefrontal lobe, our cortex, our third eye, you know, all the names that they have for them. But it's just so much, and then it's a lot of it that's we're not even aware of. We don't even recognize the damage that it's causing us, because we're just not consciously there to even understand. But if you're watching something and you don't feel good, you know what I'm saying? You feel you're feeling low, you're feeling sad, you're feeling sorrowful, you're feeling angry, you're feeling frustrated, all those emotions just by watching a show, you know, a program. And then after that, you watch and you do that consistently, day in, day out, often, frequently. Well, then that becomes habit forming for your body as well. And so you want to, you know what I'm saying, get a habit of tuning into things that doesn't do that to you all day, 24/7. Now, I know that it's not a good idea to run or to escape the realities of what's going on in this world. So there are some things that are transpiring that we need to know about, you know, for safety precautions, right? But I think if we consuming all the time drama, chaos, some of the movies, all the movies is just shooting and fighting and killing and robbing and raping and, you know what I'm saying, just murder, and then horror films, and that's all we doing is consuming all those type of programs day in, day out. That's affecting our vibrational frequency, no doubt. What goes in must come out, some way, shape, or form. So be careful. I would say fast from that TV, as much as you can. Me personally, I don't watch it I shouldn't say at all. I do watch TV, but it's very infrequently. I have one TV in my home, and I probably turn it on maybe, sometimes I go months without turning it on. But nowadays, I would say I turn that TV on maybe 5 or 6 times a year. And it's to watch a program, usually some documentary or something, or somebody recommends to me that I should watch, and I'll turn it on to find those type of programs or something like that. But for the most part, when they folks get to telling me about the TV programs and stuff, I'm out of it. I don't know any of the whatever's going on out there. I don't have a clue, for real. 10 ways to raise your vibrational frequency. Number 4, sit with yourself and do nothing. Tuning in to yourself. And that kind of rolls into number 1 too, about not avoiding internal conflict, but just getting in the habit of being with your own thoughts with no distractions. None. Not a TV, not a radio playing, nothing. You just sitting still and thinking. Just thinking about whatever. You know how rare that is for most people. We have so many distractions in the world that a lot of people are even uncomfortable with that. If it gets too quiet, they're looking for, wait a minute, turn the TV, turn the music on, you know what I'm saying? So you become uncomfortable with silence and stillness, right? So you're not even comfortable with just being with self. So again, a lot of these little tools and techniques have helped me in gaining a better insight on me, on who I am, what makes me tick, what is life is all about, what's my purpose here, what's the journey, what's the future look like, what route should I take, you know what I'm saying? Am I living, my best life? All those kind of thoughts tend to come to you more profoundly when you're able to just sit still and listen. And the answers come. So I would say sit with yourself. Do nothing. Tune into yourself. Number 5, don't make excuses for your shortcomings. Own them in order to change them. There's no way to change a situation if you're not accepting that there is a problem. How do you solve a problem if you don't even accept that there is one? That you're in the denial that there even is a problem or a challenge. You don't solve it. It never gets solved. The first step is acceptance. There's a problem here. There's a challenge here that needs to be worked upon. And so don't make excuses for your shortcomings. Own them. And we all know it doesn't feel good. Again, it doesn't feel good, but what happens is once you don't avoid your internal confrontations, when you get in the habit of sitting with yourself and just listening to yourself, making excuses for your shortcomings and things, you start to become better at not doing that, because you're creating and you're forming new habits, right? And so now it's like it becomes like a workout for your emotions. So instead of running and escaping everything that don't make you feel good, and you're standing and you're fighting and wrestling with them, you become stronger and stronger in that area. Just like anything else, you go to the gym and you work out your arms enough, your arms are going to be stronger and stronger. It's the same way with your emotions. But what that does is it allows you to build up a barrier, and put you more in the realm of truth. Living your life in truth as opposed to denial. So don't make excuses for your shortcomings. Own them, because that's the way to change for the better. Number 6, smile more often. Be nice for no reason. Yeah, just make a habit out of just smiling. Smiling at people when you walk past them, speaking to people when they walk past, just creating small talk and just being more open in a good way, because whatever we give out is what we get back in. This whole journey of ours that we're on, it's an energy frequency, and it's whatever you give is what you get back in return. So if you are frowning up all the time, or finding ways and excuses to be mean and nasty to people, or always looking at the glass half empty, and gossiping and tearing down and stuff like that, well then, how do you do all that and feel good at the same time? That's an oxymoron, right? So, you get what you give. So the energy you give out is what you're going to get back. So, if you want to raise your vibrational frequencies, you want to change your mood, And so I would just say be nice. Be nice to people for no reason at all. Number 7, edify other people. I tell you, that'll go a long way in building relationships and stuff. And it don't even got to be phony. It don't even got to be phony. I can look, it could be the worst of situations. And I'm looking at somebody, right? And maybe, but let me just use this example. There's always something that you can compliment another person on, and it can be honest about it. Maybe you like, their hairstyle. Maybe you like the ring on their finger. Maybe you like that they smile all the time. Maybe you like that whatever. Their clothes is always neat, or they wear bright clothes and they're just always so sunny, or whatever. Anything. You can always find something nice about somebody, but edify them and be truthful. And be truthful when you do it, and that people, all of us, like that, like to feel good, like when other people acknowledge us in some meaningful way, nicely, right? And so you feel good, the people around you feel good, and that goes a long way in building relationships as well. So I would say edify. I'm out here with the bugs. Edify other people. Number 8, spend more time with high vibers. Even if it's videos, even if it's not in person, it's videos or media platforms and stuff like that. Spend more time with high vibers, high vibrational frequency people that give off good energy. You know them for being just that. If you with them, you're gonna have a good time. Or, whatever the case may be, they always see the bright side of things. And they can always see something out in, a better situation, a better outcome. Make a habit of spending, more time with those type of people, because again, we are all energetic frequencies, and associations bring upon similarities. I'll repeat that. Associations bring upon similarities. So the longer you're in the space of people who frequent high, the likelihood of you doing the same is very high, right? Just by sheer association. So spend more time with high vibers, even if you got to find videos of people, or even if you have to join like groups online, Facebook groups or what have you, that, it's positive. They're talking, their mission is to bring more positivity onto the platform. Make sure you're spending some time with them kind of people. Uplifting groups. Number 9, spend more time in nature. Wow, that alone, minus the bugs that eat you up, that alone will make you feel better. Something about the rays of the sun hitting your skin that causes your energy frequency to be higher. Right? You just feel better. There's something, especially with us melanated people. It's something about that sun being the life-giving force. You know what I'm saying? When it hits our skin, we're melanated, we're sun people. It's no coincidence that, when the spring, summertime hit, all the outdoor events take place. Everybody's outside, everybody having a good time, music blasting all in the park, and congregating more, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's that sunshine hitting your skin, you feel better. And it's also a chemical reaction. It's no coincidence that we get darker in the sun. We see it as a suntan. Look, you got a tan. Where you been? You must have been somewhere where it was sunny. I see a tan. Yeah, because our skin, our bodies is actually reacting to the energetic force that's coming from the sun. Physical reaction. So yeah, you're definitely going to feel much better by getting that vitamin D. And not just your emotions, but, healthier too. You know, we now know that this COVID thing, those who were, most of us should know by now, that those of us who remained the healthiest, remained out of the grips of COVID during these past few years, was the ones that had the highest vitamin D levels in their system. That's not by accident. So the sun is a healing mechanism. So make sure you're getting some natural sunlight as much as you can. So spend more time in nature, and not just us, but just being around, because we are nature. We're just a part of nature. We're just another leg of nature. So, you know, breathing in the air and walking barefoot in the grass and smelling the beautiful flowers and looking at the beautiful things that nature provides us, streams of water, and how you feel calmer when you get around water and things like that. All of that helps to raise your vibrational frequency. All of that. So definitely spending more time in nature. Number 10, be grateful. Always look for the silver lining, even in the midst of total darkness. There's always a silver lining. We just gotta find it, you know, and I've recognized more as of late than any time else, you know, there could be a beautiful story or that's being shared, or somebody has some good advice or something, you know what I'm saying, that's going to help build and uplift. And a lot of us, we look for the negativity in it, the things that could go wrong, the opposite end of the beauty. It's like we're geared our brain to go and looking at the glass half empty. You know, that's the makings of depression, family. When there's nothing but beauty all around you and people, you know what I'm saying, vibing high, and here you come reminding folks of the lower portion. Yeah, but that ain't gonna work because of this, that, or never, or yeah, you tried it if you want, and it's gonna turn out horrible. You know, that's low vibrational frequency. You should always be grateful and always look for the silver lining in every situation, even when it's gloom and doom. You know, there's always a solution to every problem on earth. Every problem. So we may not know what it is because of our lack of understanding and our lack of knowledge and awareness around it, but there's always a solution to every single problem that exists. That's the yin and the yang. There can't be one without the other. That's the duality of life. And so maybe it's just because you don't know how to solve the issue don't mean that you just conclude that there is no hope. Okay, so always look for the silver lining in every situation. That helps to raise your vibrational frequency as well. And I have a couple of bonus ones here. I put dress up for no reason. That makes you feel good, right? Remember to take nothing personally, right? And you do that by changing your mind, changing the way you think of it. You know, even if somebody is coming to you maybe they're coming to you wrong. Maybe you in a conversation and it's open and it's just a genuine basic conversation about whatever, and somebody come left field with some stuff, you know what I'm saying, that you could easily clap back on, and now the argument, boom, you off to the races, both of y'all going back and forth. You know, what I find in situations like that is I choose not to take things personally, because I know, you know, that person, especially if it's online or something, that person don't know me personally, you know what I'm saying? So whatever, let me know if y'all hear me. That's their stuff. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's not my issue. That's their issue. And so when I look at it that way, I don't take it personally. You know, again, that goes to that barrier, that building, the building blocks of a strong emotional armor. You know what I'm saying? So of course, you know, not that you should not feel at all. You do. You can't help but to do that. But to train yourself to not go down there with them, because they go down there. That don't mean you got to go down there with them. You stay in a high vibrational place, and when you're wise, you learn how to bring them up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going down there with them, you learn how to bring them up to your frequency, right? And you do that by most often, you know, killing them with kindness, you know, being nice to people, even when they don't deserve it. You'd be surprised at how far that goes. Yeah, so bonus, take nothing personally. Change your mind state about what it is that you're hearing, and just remind yourself that, you know, it's their mess. They ain't got nothing to do with you. You didn't do anything. You did nothing to harm anybody, but somebody coming left field to you. But then that's them. That's on them. They are dealing in some emotional turmoil. And because you give what you give, you know, hurt people. And so when they coming off like that to you, then that's them. They're dealing in some emotional turmoil in their own self, in their own life. So what you attempt to do is pull them up out of that. And the last but not least is to live in truth. Live in truth. And you do that by being honest with yourself. By living in reality, in that la-la land. You know, and accepting all areas of what life offers, and not just some. You know, some of us have a tendency that we pick and choose what we want to accept out of life. And so again, if it don't feel good to us, then we don't want to hear it. All we want is the information that's going to make us feel good, or you know, we don't want anything other than that. I think that's not living in truth, in my humble opinion. It's not, because you're not dealing with the wholeness of reality. You want to block off a whole half of the reality of the life we live in because it don't feel good to you. I asked the question the other day online. I said, where is it in any of the ancient scrolls? In any of them ancient scrolls that a lot of us go to for guidance, where does any of them state that we should ignore all the harsh truths of our reality and just focus in on the things that make us feel good instead? Where is that? You know, if we look at a lot of the religious people who follow the tenements of people like, you know, Yeshua, and the way he lived his life, when did he do that? If Jesus is your Lord and Savior and your guide, and you follow the life of Jesus, did Jesus live a life of complete denial of the reality of his existence and everything that was going on around him? Or did he teach to his congregants about good and bad? So, you know, we get into this notion of, again, it's a lot of it is centered around emotionalism. A lot of what we do is centered around emotionalism. We have really allowed ourselves to be hijacked by our emotions, which is ego, right? Instead of disciplining ourselves and disciplining our own emotions and feeling, even when it don't feel good, you know, we choose to block out anything that don't feel good. I think that's why all those prosperity preachers and, you know, all those preachers that make all that money out there, like, what's that guy? What's the white guy that has that huge church, and every Sunday all he talk about is all the good things in life. Y'all know who I'm talking about. What is his name? On the tip of my tongue. And he's so popular. He got TV show. Help me out. A very popular guy. And yeah, and my thing with him is, and I respect what he says, because most of what I hear him say is I can't do nothing but agree, you know. But it's just all one-sided. It's all one-sided. And then what happens is that we become off balance. Joel Osteen, that's him. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, you know, he just preaches one side of life to his congregants. There's no balance in that. And so all the harsh realities of our life get ignored. And when you do that enough, you look up and like, what the heck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Your whole world has come crashing down around you because you hadn't allowed yourself to accept the harsh realities of life as well. So you can help to balance those out. It's escapism, in my opinion. It's escapism. Do you want to, you know, stay in the harsh realities of life all day, every day too? No, of course not. Again, that's balance. But there's a problem in society, or in our homes, or, you know, in our community, whatever, in our school. If there's a problem, if there's a challenge, then we should address those problems. We should first acknowledge that there's a problem, and then we should seek ways and try to fix those problems. We don't ignore it and pretend that the problem don't exist and just, oh, don't worry, be happy. Just don't worry about none of that, just be happy, because then that problem gonna grow from small to huge because you ignored it. So there's a balance in this thing. And so again, a lot of us like to do is we ignore the harsh realities of our existence because we don't like how it feels, right? And that's not vibrating high. That's not vibrating high. That is living in denial. That's living in denial. And then what happens is when everything comes crashing down, because it will, because you hadn't addressed it. Nobody, more and more people have just decided to just, don't worry, be happy. And so you throw a blanket over it. And then after a while, that little small thing that was once small that could have been handled if we dealt with it immediately has grown into some big, huge tumor. And now it's even harder to tackle. And now we're looking around like, oh my God, what happened here? What happened here? No, what happened here is you didn't accept the responsibility to help solve this issue. So, live in truth. Family, live in truth, the truth of our reality, because there's no benefits in living a lie, and denying the truth is living a lie. Okay, so those are my 10 plus. So that's all I wanted to bring to you guys today. I appreciate you guys jumping on and listening and hearing me out. I see you guys don't have no questions or no comments or no points of view, so I'm going to get off of this thing. Thank you for joining. I'm posting this on YouTube under my channel, Miss Free the People, where there is a lot more videos where this came from, not just from me, but from a lot of different scholars, some of our wisest scholars that are amongst us. I share a lot of the information that I gained from them there on Miss Free the People on YouTube, so definitely check that out. And I'll be coming to you very, very soon with a new channel called The Africa You Don't See. So I'm reinventing myself in that arena, and I will be doing more traveling in the future over on the continent of Africa to different countries, and I'm going to be showing you the different ways in which the Africans live that you don't see and hear about readily. So check me out on The Africa You Don't See, and take care of each other out there. All right, peace.